What's up, Juventini? We've got a ton to tackle today with Juve setting their sights on another highly touted prospect, a 16-year-old striker. We'll look at that as well as our other targets that we have with updates on COMUZZO, NDOYE, TONALI, and Florentino Luis. And how does our own Douglas Luiz play a part in a couple of these scenarios? He could be a key bargaining chip. We've got the latest on Renato Vega and Kolo Muani as well. And Juve seemingly have done a complete 180, a complete flip on Alberto Costa. We're going to break all of this down and more right now. I'm Berto. This is the AJCer channel dedicated to Juventus. It's May 21st. Let's rock with the news. And we kick things off with Juve setting their sights on a highly touted 16-year-old striker prospect, Antonio Arena. He has made his Pescara first team debut and scored his first senior goal. The reports suggest Juve have their sights set on him, but they're not going to be alone. Apparently, all the big clubs in Italy have their sights set and are trying to land the player's signature. Will Juve beat the others to the punch? Let's see. Meanwhile, cue the plusvalenza jokes right here. Okay, now we get to another target, Pietro COMUZZO. It is no secret about Juve's strong interest in the defender, and now apparently the reports suggest that it's going to be Milan and Juventus that will battle till the end for Pietro COMUZZO. Now, of course, we got to deal with Fiorentina. Juve fans have just hated handing over so much money to this club over the years on signings. But Pietro COMUZZO, do you break that rule and don't care about it to bring him in? How do you feel about it? We know that Atalanta and Fiorentina are these teams where we just don't want to deal. And Bologna, they could be throwing themselves into that mix as well. But Dan NDOYE, he's got interest from Juventus, having his campaign so far go fairly well with his performances, 8 goals, 4 assists. The price tag set by Bologna is 40 million euros. Dan NDOYE, 40 million euros? How do you feel about it? Meanwhile, Manchester United is rumored to have interest in the player as well, which will obviously keep Bologna's price tag that high, in my personal opinion. So, Juve, we have interest in NDOYE. Will we move on it? Not so sure at that price tag. Let's see. And then we get to Sandro Tonali. So the reports today suggest that once Champions League qualification is secured, knock on wood, for Juventus, we go all in for Sandro Tonali. And the thought process is that the assistance that we gave to Newcastle in finding a solution for Lloyd Kelly, who went there on a free, so we purchased him, gave them capital gains, and took his fairly hefty salary that they dished out to him on that free signing. We took it all off the books for them, that they're going to somehow repay us for Sandro Tonali. Don't hold your breath on that. Newcastle is in a position where they do not need to sell Sandro Tonali. And Sandro Tonali and his agent have always spoken about how happy they are there and that there are no issues and they're not looking to leave. I think the Sandro Tonali thing is just not logical, and I don't think it's going to go down. Nonetheless, here we are, and the reports continue to suggest that we are going to make that move. Let's see. Meanwhile, the more logical move seemingly is going to be Florentino Luis, midfielder from Benfica. And the reason is Benfica set the price tag at 30 million euros, which is easily negotiable for Juventus, so he could become the prime candidate. Meanwhile, the one kicker, though, is the key bargaining chip we carry in Douglas Luiz, because there were rumors that Newcastle could be interested in picking up Douglas Luiz if Juve was going to say goodbye. But Tonali's having a strong season. He's a strong player. I can't see it happening, but Douglas Luiz could become critical in talks for Renato Vega, as Chelsea do have interest for the player. If Chelsea enters negotiations with Juventus, it is then said Juve will turn it onto a way to redeem Renato Vega, which is their goal. They want to retain Renato Vega. So let's keep eyes on the situation. Meanwhile, the discussions will not take place until the end of this month. The end of May is when discussions for Renato Vega with Chelsea are going to begin. We'll see if Douglas Luiz enters the fold. And for Kolo Muani, same thing. Discussions with PSG will go down at the end of this month, and we will see what develops for Alberto Costa? Well, a lot of talks around Juve sending him out on loan next season and that they had already decided this. You have 4 clubs interested in him, 2 out of Portugal, 1 out of the Premier League, 1 Italian side that all want to purchase the player from Juventus. Well, suspension and injuries opened up a starting spot for Alberto Costa, and he impressed not just the fans, but he impressed Juventus. It's now being rumored that he is going to feature for Juve at the Club World Cup. They have zero intentions in selling the player, and it doesn't even look like he's gonna really go out on a loan next season. He could find himself staying with Juve next season. So a complete shift in the news we were hearing around Alberto Costa. How do you feel about that one? Hit me in the comments. And when we get to the injury rundown leading up to the critical final match against Venezia, separate training still for Cope Miners, Gatti, and even Weston McKennie. Will monitor those each day that passes. And for national team call-ups, Kalulu receives his first French national side call-up. Kolomuani also got the call, and Chico Conceição with Portugal for the Final 4 of Nations League. That's your news break, everybody. You know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join our AJC Army, but let's mix it up. What do you think about the news you heard here today? Who do you see as logical and not logical for signings? What do you hope gets done in the mercado? Hit me with your thoughts. Let's mix it up. I'm back tomorrow as always with another edition. Till then, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.